Boom, we are live. Welcome to today, the special edition of the Franchise Empire newsletter. Happy that you're here. It is Monday, President's Day. Today, we're going to hit on this newsletter video. We're going to talk about one franchise resale that shows annual revenue of $4.3 million. Those are big numbers. That's really big numbers. We are also going to talk about a franchise that shows 2.2 million in average sales in their FDD. That's for the top 1/3 performing group in sales. I'm curious if you can guess what the middle third and bottom third average in sales, because we are going to go into it. We're going to pull up the numbers from the FDD. We're going to talk about it. We're also going to look into a client case study of that relates to a franchise resale, and then we're going to talk about a company that I had on the Franchise Empire Show podcast that saved a franchisee $400,000, which is obviously a lot of money. Today is kind of a special edition. It's President's Day. Our office is closed today, but I wanted to stick with it, stay committed, and make sure to bring it to you guys this Monday. So it's just going to be me today. No Kevin today, just me. And let's just dive right in. I'm going to share my screen, and we'll hit this off with a bang. And if you're watching the replay, drop me a comment and let me know that you are watching the replay. That would be awesome. All right, let's do it. So here's my note before we dive into the resale. It's doing $4.3 million in sales. Resales are hot right now. You know, one of the things that are unique about us is that we're the only folks talking about resales. No one else talks about resales. And so, you know, inventory is limited. You're not going to be able to always buy a resale franchise, but it certainly is attractive, right? It's very attractive to, take over an existing business that's cash flowing. Now, keep in mind, like, I'm not the hype guy. I'm not going to always just give you the pros. Like, we're going to talk cons too, unlike a lot of other people. Let's keep it real. So keep in mind that the more money a business makes, then the higher it sells for. The higher it sells for, the higher your loan amount. We actually had a client, this was about a month ago, and Kevin found him a resale, but the resale was selling for 900 grand. And he was like, "Oh man, that's too expensive," and felt really nervous about it. And we actually had to do a reframe with him because we're like, if a business is selling for $900,000, typically, because businesses sell for a multiple of their profits, then that's a good thing. If a business is selling for a 3x multiple and it's priced at 900K, that would mean the business is making $300,000 in profits. So when you see those resales that are selling for 100 grand or 200 grand, that low of amount of money, they're either probably losing money, break even, or barely profitable. So you do need to make sure that you're ready for that big of a jump into entrepreneurship. And one of the things that I tell people who want to buy an existing business is that one of the best ways that you can do that is to actually buy a new franchise first. Why? Well, because what happens is over time, you'll have the opportunity to buy out your neighboring franchisees. Eventually, they're going to want to sell. And I see it all the time. So, Bridget and I recently lost out on a resale that was very attractive, a long-standing resale that was doing big numbers, multiple millions in sales. And that franchisee, in the middle of why we were talking with them and getting ready to go meet with them in person, they struck a deal with the neighboring franchisee, and that was the priority. Like the neighboring franchisees already proved with the franchisor. They already know the business model. They know the business is going to be taken care of. So that's actually one of the best ways to get resales, because there are a lot of resales, franchise resales, that never hit the public market ever. They immediately, first thing they do is go to a neighboring franchisee. So it's really something to think about. And so with this resale, let's talk about it. So Again, Kevin and Krista put these together. They're the ones that build out the opportunities that we go over in the newsletter. Kevin's not here today. It's a holiday, and our office is closed. Although I believe Kevin's still working. He just has some other meetings. So, all right. So this featured resale. So it comes from one of the largest and most. It's Express Employment Professionals. Oh, and actually, by the way, before I dive into Express, if you want to get this newsletter in your inbox Sunday mornings when we send it out, then you can go to franchiseempire.com/newsletter. I'm going to show it here. I'm doing it all manual today. Usually we have someone on my team on the background so that when I say stuff, they click the button and the banners happen. It's all on me today. So we're gonna rock and roll and just have fun with it. I'm just gonna keep that rolling up there while I talk. So Express Employment, and by the way, if you have any questions, feel free to drop them as a comment. Sometimes they come through. We're using a streaming platform. Sometimes they don't come through. But if you have a question, I'd love to answer it live. But so Express Employment, they've been around since 1985. They have almost 800 franchise units, and basically what they're doing is they offer temporary and flexible hiring. Basically, they're a staffing company, and they do that in skilled trades, professional, light industrial, and administrative services. Right now, the job market's getting more competitive. We're hearing, from franchise owners, we're hearing from people that things are getting tighter in the labor market. You see all these. My goodness, I just bookmarked a bunch of headlines of all these layoffs that are happening, and it's really sad. One, but the job market's also becoming more and more competitive. We posted a job recently. I've got hundreds of applicants. It's absurd. This specific resales in St. Cloud, Minnesota. It started in 2005. The last 12 months revenue of 4.39 million with an asking price of only 680K. Now you may go, "Whoa, 4.39 million. Why is it only asking 680K?" Well, I'm assuming the total revenue collected is not the actual portion that the franchisee receives in this business. We'd have to get the confirmation from Kevin, because they may be collecting revenue for the total wages for those placements. So I'm not sure. This is when it's a little bit tough when Kevin's not here, but that's my assumption, and that's what would make sense. There are 9 employees on staff, poised for growth with the right owner, and the owners are retiring. So to me, these are a lot of my favorite resale opportunities to see on the market that I think can be, the most attractive for you potentially as a buyer, is that the owner is retiring. And so, it's not someone that's saying that they have another business, but there's like some skeletons in the closet, which can happen with resales, right? People will be like, "Oh, I'm retiring because I have this thing." Turns out they actually just suck at running the business, and they're running the business into the ground. Probably not the case with a $4.4 million a year producing business. So, our take, phenomenal numbers. Item 19, 9 pages long. Wow. The item 19 is 9 pages long. That's where they disclose how much money the franchisees are making. That's super cool. That means they have a lot of detail there. Let's see. So they show for units open more than 60 months, so 5 years, there were over 400 of those, and the average annual sales were 7.1 million. That's insane. That's pretty interesting. So that would actually mean that this is actually an underperforming location. Which is what that means. If you're saying that the average unit that was open for at least 5 years does 7.1 million, basically 7.2 million, and this one has been open for 20 years now, 19 years. Wow. So sounds like some big upside. Over 90% of the franchisees did not have staffing or recruiting backgrounds, yet are still successful. Wow. Wow. Huge, 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 huge. So, if this is something that you want to inquire about, this specific resale, then you can go to, wait for it, franchiseempire.com/resales. You can go there, enter your information. You can set up a free quick call with the team, Kevin or Krista, and they'll be able to either get you connected with this franchise resale if it's appropriate, or they can see what other resales are available in your specific area. Um, and there's no cost to do that for a quick phone call, Zoom meeting. I think we have them set up as Zoom meetings. People are distracted on phone calls. You ever notice that? I like Zoom. You can be present, focused, look at someone. All right, let's keep it going. Put this back on. All right, so Mark and Angelique, these were clients of ours that came to us having looked for franchises for the right franchise for over 2 years. Look, we know most people are overwhelmed, confused, scouring the internet, trying to look through all the different directories, totally confused on which franchises make money, what are good, what they can afford, what they can buy, what are even available. Press the easy button. Remember the Staples commercial? Like the easy button. Hit the easy button and just hit us up. You'll save yourself a tremendous amount of time and heartache. But so finally, after 2 years, they reached out to us. They got help. They've launched their franchise. They're a year in, and guess what happened? One of their neighboring franchisees wants to sell, and so to my point exactly is that you get into a franchise. Eventually, you'll, especially if you network properly, there will be opportunities to buy out your neighboring franchisees. So let's jump to the franchise of the week. We've got the Cleaning Authority here. So the first location, let me drop back to the comments in case any of you guys have any questions. All right. So first location, 1977. My goodness. That's longer than I've been alive, ladies and gentlemen. Can you guess what year I was born? I am starting to get, I trim my beard so you can't see the grays as much, but I'm definitely starting to get some gray there. Oh man. It's crazy. I still feel like I'm like a 20-year-old kid sometimes. Besides when our two kids are running around the house crazy. They began franchising in 1996. Their parent company is Authority Brands, which is an umbrella company with 16 other franchisors, mostly in the home services space, which is, cool. That probably means they have a lot of resources. They're probably private equity backed. So it's definitely like there's definitely some advantages to not being with a franchisor that's like just starting out and is bootstrapping. Oh man, sometimes we get hit up by people they're trying to buy this random franchise that has one location, like a corporate location, no franchisees. I'm like, do you just want to do you just want to put your life savings at risk? Is that what you want to do? Like the whole point of buying a franchise is buying a proven system. But that's what you want to do. Okay. All right. All right. When there are franchises like this and Express Employment that have nearly 800 franchisees. Crazy. Anyways, so the Cleaning Authority has over 216 franchise units, which is that's a strong system. Franchise fees $20K with an additional territory fee that ranges between 22.5 and 45K. I would imagine that's going to depend on the size. They got a decreasing royalty, which I like. There's some franchises out there that actually, the longer you're in business, the more your royalty is, the higher it is. And so, I think these opportunities are attractive for a franchisee, which is, hey, you make more money, then we'll decrease your royalty. It's really win-win. Total investment between 100 grand and 175K. Franchise term is 15 years. That's a long franchise term. Usually they're 10 years. I've seen some 7, but that's interesting that it's 15. Not necessarily bad, pros and cons to it. Not going to go down the rabbit hole on this one about that, but just interesting. So, Cleaning Authority. Can you guess what they do? Can you guess what the Cleaning Authority does? They clean, ladies and gentlemen. residential homes, but they can also do carpet cleaning, window cleaning, furniture cleaning, and light commercial property cleaning. I actually really like that. They're the cleaning authority. They are the authority in cleaning. And look, there's a lot of power to a niche business, and there's a lot of like really a lot of micro businesses in the franchise space coming out where it's like, hey, all we do is clean windows. It's good to a sense, but the more opportunities to, upsell, right? And maximize your lifetime value of your customer, of your client, I think it just has a lot more advantages, in my opinion. Right? You're inside cleaning one thing and they're like, "Oh, can you also clean this?" "Yes." "Can you also clean this?" "Yes." All of a sudden you go there for a $250, $300 job and now it's 1,500, right? As opposed to maybe you're just doing a regular cleaning franchise, you just go to clean their house and that's it. So I actually really like that about this brand. I think that's really interesting. The cleaning authority provides cleaning. All right, we're not going to go over all that stuff. All right, so financial data. Let's dig into this and let me make this a little bit bigger so I can see it. My goodness. All right, so this is where we're talking about top third, middle third, bottom third. So uh let's hit on we're looking at average. So let's talk average and let's talk median. So you can see here, if you can see my mouse hovering, it won't let me like highlight it because it's an image. Hmm. I wonder if there's a way to do that. Oh, there's a pen here. I'm just noticing this. Nope. All right, that was cancel. That was to edit the layout, but there's got to be a way for me to draw on this thing. I'm gonna figure it out next time. Anyways, average gross revenue for the top third is 2.2 million. For the middle third is 1.1, basically 1.2, and for the lower third, 650K. The median, which is the number in the middle, pretty much tracks pretty close to that. And actually, for the lower third, the median is higher than the average, which is interesting. So, yeah, solid numbers overall. So the benefits for the franchisee. So if this is something that you're interested in, by the way, let's switch to the next one. If you want to see if the cleaning authority is available in your area. You don't have to waste all this time wondering or all these calls with the franchisor just to find out, are they available in my area? Our team can check with them directly on your behalf very quickly and easily. You can just go to franchiseempire.com/check territory. Not only can we check if this one's available, we can see what other franchises are available. And ladies and gentlemen, we have been putting together a list of franchises that average $1 million in sales. And a good amount of them are less than 250 to get up and running. So we're really trying to find the lowest cost, biggest revenue and sales makers. So if you want to talk about that list, some of these ones that are really proven, hit us up. You can have a quick call with Kevin and Carista, quick Zoom with Kevin and Carista to check in for you. But so the cleaning authority, like some of the benefits, recurring revenue. Recurring revenue is huge. Most customers have their homes cleaned on average every 2 weeks. So that's stable income. You build up a portfolio of clients and have a couple hundred people paying you, a couple $100 a week. That helps. It provides stability to your business, not starting at zero every month. Amazing. Low investment with high returns. So again, the highest range in the FDD is 175K. That's the high end, right? And then if you look at the item 19, the gross revenue of the bottom third is still almost 4 times the total investment of this business, which is pretty cool. And that's not even looking at the middle and top third. And we say, the calculation that I like to use for service brands is you want to see a 3x in terms of the average revenue for the total investment. And this is exceeding that with 4x, which is cool. With retail, you want to see at least 2x. Boom. All right, work-life balance. So this is interesting. The business operates Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. So you'll be able to spend quality time with your family on hobbies and nights and weekends. And there's a call center that answers your incoming calls from the new leads for your territory. Very, very cool. A lot of franchises are doing this these days, which is you're basically able to get outsized labor. You're going to pay for it. There's going to be a fee in the FDD that you pay for that, but still huge, huge value. Um, which is really interesting. I wouldn't have thought this was a Monday through Friday business, but um, yeah, that's cool. It's something that's important that we tell people to get clarity on. Like, hey, if you want to something I didn't think about before opening a juice and smoothie bar, like we were literally open 14 hours a day, 7 days a week, 363 days a year. We only closed on Christmas and Thanksgiving. Outside of that, we were open. So imagine a Monday through Friday business. Whoo, wow. Quality of life, work-life balance, much better. And then stability. The Cleaning Authority has been franchising for almost 20 years now. Um, and they have over 200 units. So that's pretty big. So again, if you want to see if they're available in your area, or if you want to see what franchises are available in your area, then you can go to franchiseempire.com/check territory. Boom. All right. And so this week's podcast episode that aired on Friday, this was actually really interesting. And this hits a sore spot for me. I talk about it in the episode because we almost got in a lot of trouble with our lease with our second store. And if we had something like this, would have saved us time and money for sure. Um, but I talked to Landrum, who's a co-founder of Ramp, and they help to provide tools to help you monitor and understand your commercial lease. So for any of you that if you're a franchisor and you guys have retail locations, you definitely want to check out Ramp. If you're a franchisee and you have a retail storefront, or you just have a lease overall, actually, because even if you're a service brand, you can still have a commercial lease. It's probably just not a Class A lease, right? And then if you're a franchise buyer and you plan on buying a franchise with a retail location, this is something you need to check out. So they were able to save a franchisee 400 grand, which is absurd. I thought we had it in the description some here. We don't, but yeah, it was pretty cool. So check it out. You can go to our dedicated podcast YouTube channel, the Franchise Empire Show. Look that up on YouTube, or you can listen wherever you get your podcast. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to let me know if you watch the replay. Give this video a like wherever you're watching it, and we will see you next Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, not 2 p.m. Today was a special President's Day edition. All right, peace.